Captain's Log Supplemental.
Fascinating.
Aye, sir.
Live long and prosper.
But it's a mystery. I don't like mysteries. Give me a bellyache, and I got a beauty right now.
4 phases locked and ready to fire, sir.
In the hands of an adolescent.
I'm a doctor, not a mechanic.
Could be close.
Maybe.
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 Maybe, baby.
Maybe,
Maybe,
baby.
baby.
Maybe,
Maybe, baby. Maybe, baby. Wow.
Is that one? Is that like a one-night stand when she calls you like 2 weeks later? She goes, "Yeah, I think we got a maybe, baby." You're like, "Oh God, I don't even remember you. Why are you calling me?" Oh God.
That's
Got
great.
a case of the maybe, baby.
Oh, you never want to find yourself being you just don't want to be a maybe baby.
No, yeah.
That's no good.
That's no good.
No.
That's worse than accidental baby. There's a
Yeah, what's
fine
worse, not
tone
knowing or
difference.
knowing?
Wow. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi. Hey.
Ooh, that was
Yeah,
loud.
Yeah.
That's a sizzler.
Sorry about that.
Oh, my God. We are back with another episode of Geeking Poetic Podcast's Star Trek-centric series called Trekking Poetic, a Trek-rospective. Oh, my. It's just getting more epic every week. So, anyway, it's where we talk about Star Trek episodes starting from the very beginning and going until the end
of time.
If there ever is going to be an end.
I don't know. We may end before they end, you know. We may, yeah, it's possible. But I am one of your erstwhile friends and companions here. My name is Larry. Larry! And on that note, as I've already introduced, right across the table from me is Mr. Vito.
That's me.
Yep.
Don't wear my name out or else I'll make you buy a new one.
That's almost as corny as Sulo's jokes in that last episode.
I guess that's why he never works in the bars. I should retire that one.
Yeah.
You might need to work on that a little. Fine tune it just a tad.
I'm sure that goes over great when you're hanging out at John Barleycorn.
Yeah.
Oof.
I miss that place, dude. They closed the Schaumburg location down.
Oh, did they?
So now we're stuck going to Wrigleyville, which is a fucking nightmare.
I was just gonna say, was
Yeah.
there not enough fucking basic jagoffs to go
Dude,
going
there's
there?
even more douchebags down in Wrigleyville than
Oh, I
Schaumburg.
know. Oh, I
Oh,
know.
God, yeah.
I've been there. Oof. Oofa.
Oof.
Yeah. No. I'll stay away from there.
Yeah.
And then here in the middle, trying to give a swift ball kick to all the fucking regular jagoffs that hang out at John Barleycorn. We have Miss Megan.
Hi.
So
Glad to be here.
we are talking about the 7th episode, right? It's seventh
It's the
episode.
7th.
Yep.
7th episode released in Star Trek, the original series, season 1, and it is the somewhat infamous episode known as
Mud's Women.
And women they are.
Mud's Whammon.
They are women.
All them crazy whammon, as Ola would say. Oh my God, this episode, guys.
Is it a rough one for you?
Well, yeah. And I don't know if any of you out there listened to or watched the last Trekking Poetic we did when we talked about the Enemy Within episode, where I brought up my revelation, my adult, mature, better sensibility having revelation that for all his progressiveness, the original Star Trek series was still pretty goddamn male chauvinistic and sexist at times. And even when they were trying to put across like a good point, you know, a good lesson to be learned, a moral thing, it still missed the mark a little bit.
A little bit.
A little
Just
bit.
a little bit. You offended me a little bit. Just a little bit. So, yeah. So I'll have plenty to say about this one. But before I do, as always, I always ask you guys at the start of the episode for your basic overall impression of this episode. So Vito, starting with you. Mud's Women, what did you think of this one?
It was okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought the concept was a little silly, but I guess it makes sense. I mean, you're always going to want hookers in some time, right? Even if it's in the future in space. I mean, men they're literally mining for
hookers.
lithium crystals, not dilithium, because of course this is the original series, so their technology is extremely primitive. But you've got these men literally dying for these crystals. They're going to want a little something for entertainment, so why not space hookers?
Well,
Why not?
It's the oldest profession in the known literary universe. Why wouldn't it carry on into the future?
And this is exactly why it was not chosen as the pilot.
yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah,
this
'cause
was,
it was filmed along with Where No Man Has Gone Before, and was put out there. What it was another one too, wasn't it?
it was the Omega.
Yeah,
whatchamacallit?
Omega Glory.
There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah. That those three stories were put forth as being potentials for
Right.
for
the
the
second
second pilot
pilots.
after the Cage pilot failed.
Wow.
And that is exactly why this one was not chosen.
Yeah, it's
With
kind
good
of
reason.
yeah, it's kind of funny that they would even, for a number of reasons, that they would even consider putting this across as like, well, what about starting the series with this? What about selling it on this? It's like not even just because it deals with drugs and prostitution.
Drugs and intergalactic pimps.
Yeah.
Not even just because of that, although that's enough for 1966, but just the whole, I don't know. Like if this would have been the first episode I ever saw of Star Trek, I think I would have been like, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, I don't quite get it, you know. For one thing, Kirk does not come off quite so Kirky. You know what I mean? Like he's usually a badass. You know what I mean? Like he's usually pretty clever and he's a badass and everything. And throughout this whole episode, he just seems kind of
Yeah. He's got this like attitude. I guess.
yeah,
I don't
and
know.
he just doesn't seem like he's coming up with the good solutions, like to the point where even at one point when he turns around and when it's one of my favorite parts is when Scotty is like, you know, when they're talking about how they've only got maybe like, you know, 2 hours left of power and everything, and they're like, oh, you only got 2 hours, and Scotty's like a dick is just like, oh, we wouldn't have this problem if it wasn't for not having the lithium crystals, Captain, and everything. And then Kirk turned around and he's like, yeah, because I fucked up, right? He was like, is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, I didn't get the crystals because I don't know what the fuck to do, Scotty. He doesn't say that exactly, but
he's ticked
you're
off.
paraphrasing.
but
Phrasing a little.
basically, and Scotty, I love when Scotty's just looking at him like, you know, if you weren't the captain, I would bean your ass right now with a fucking with a fucking empty bottle of fucking whiskey. You know, like just fuck you. But you know, and then after he cools his shit, when Kirk turns around afterwards and he's like, "I'm sorry, Mr. Scott," and Scotty's still looking at him like,
You better fucking be sorry.
They gank that in Star Trek First Contact. Right? The movie? Where
Do they?
Picard, he goes up to Worf, he goes, you are
"Oh,
a coward.
they did."
And Worf goes, if you were any other man, I would kill you.
But that was kick ass,
Dude.
though.
Yeah.
That gives me chills just thinking about it right now, dude.
But that was kick ass.
Yeah.
That First Contact is a fucking good
Fuck
movie.
yeah, it is.
That's
We draw
good
the
shit.
line here. No father. And
Dude.
Picard whips that fucking thing at the trophy case.
Dude.
Holy shit, man.
He breaks all his little fucking
Yeah.
AMC models and shit. It's like that fucking chick fucking calls him out on his
Yeah.
tantrums, like, you broke your models, bitch. But in any case, yeah, that's right. That's a good point. I never drew the parallel. It's a similar thing,
Yeah.
you know, just pulled off much more effectively by.
Oh yes.
Of course, it's next generation. It's gonna pull off everything better, man.
Oh man,
They're
Like
more advanced.
dilithium crystals.
not.
Even though I guess they introduced dilithium
They
in a couple
do,
episodes.
yeah, they
but-
do.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
2 episodes I think in the original series where they call it because it's
Lithium.
this one and Where No Man Has Gone Before. I think they said lithium.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I mean, which is a very early one. So, but yeah, I just love, we're like, we're out here mining for lithium the whole time. I'm like, oh yeah, you need to take some of that lithium, you
Yeah.
douchebags. You guys need some Zoloft while you're at it. Fuck. Meg, what was your impression of this episode?
I didn't hate it as much as the last one.
Okay.
I wasn't as bothered by it as much.
Okay.
I think I'm with Vito. It's okay. It's never been one of my favorites.
No. This was never one of my favorites.
Mud is always an interesting character.
Guy's a goofball, man.
See-
Mustache.
See, here's the thing. Like, I know they talk about like Harry. What's his fuck?
Harmon Court?
Harcourt
Harcourt.
Fenton Mudd.
There you go.
My name is Mud. My name is Mud. I have the opposite feeling. This episode for me ranks lower than Enemy Within. This one is probably tied with Charlie X. Actually,
Wow.
I would probably rather watch Charlie X than this episode. This might
Wow.
be, up to this point, my most hated episode.
Interesting.
First of all,
Tell us. Do tell us, Larry. Why?
well, like you don't know I'm going to
Incorrect.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, computer. You do not agree with me saying this is the worst one, but it fucking is. To me, it is because it's the one that I can't get through it without just getting super irritated at it. There's so many people I dislike in this fucking episode. I end up disliking almost everybody in this episode to a large degree.
Yeah.
Everybody is so smitten. Like, I know they say he's a fan favorite, Harry Mudd.
Mm-hmm.
So, love Harry Mudd. Guy's a fucking dill rod.
Yeah. This Irish pirate dude with this fucking globe earring thing.
It's like somebody took Dom DeLuise and Chumley from the Tennessee Tuxedo Show and put them together and made him just a little bit femme,
Yeah.
and like he was hanging out in some Turkish harem for too long. Everybody like, oh, he's so funny and clever and this and that. I'm like, no, he's really obnoxious.
Yeah.
I didn't think, just kind of like how Kirk feels about him through the whole episode, where Kirk's just like, this guy's a pain in my dick. Fuck this guy. That's how I feel about Mudd. Like, I don't, I mean, even aside from the fact that he's just some douchebag pimp and everything, but I didn't care for Mudd. I really don't care for the fucking lithium miners.
Dude.
Those fucking goobers.
The one guy who finds the blonde, I forgot what her name was.
Eve.
Oh, dude. That guy.
Well, okay, so hey, is my soapbox around here? Okay, so I got to get up on my soapbox for a minute. So whereas in the last episode I was bitching about how much I realized that this is still pretty fucking sexist. Like, dude, this fucking episode is sexist as fuck.
This is about as sexist as it gets.
I mean, like, yeah, okay, they try to like give these like moral lessons of like, Eve kind of puts that asshole in his place more towards the end where she starts calling him out on his bullshit. Like, okay, that's cool. That's good. But it still sort of ends on a note of still being sort of male superiority, sort of like, you know.
And he still only wants her because she looks exceptionally beautiful, even without those magic pills, which didn't make any sense at all.
No.
But the moral of the story was still you have to be extremely gorgeous or else you're not going to find a husband.
Well,
Right?
yeah, and
Pretty
you know, here's my problem with it. Like, for all the different little morals and lessons and stuff that it taught, at no point did it teach the lesson that if you're a man and you behave that way towards a woman, you're a cunt. You know what I mean? You're a dickless cunt. You know, like, I'm sorry, being like, we're out here dying for this, and we deserve beautiful women. You deserve dick. Fuck you, goober pile. Fuck you. You know, and then he's yelling at her like, look at you, you're homely. And it's like,
a man goes out and dies, tries to find this woman so he can find a wife, and then I get stuck with you, you ugly fucking trash of a woman who
Right.
does nothing but clean good for me, cook delicious food, and make sure I'm taken care of. What the fuck? I can never catch a break in
Right.
here, man. It's like,
I've been treating
Really?
you like absolute lower than dog crap, to the point where not only do you hate yourself, but you ran out and tried to commit suicide and everything, and you still treat me with decency and kindness and fairness and rationale. But why do you got to be so homely? Like, first of all, you fucking weak-chinned, fucking bad dad bod, balding head, Captain Stubing fucking looking motherfucker. Go look in the fucking mirror, you fucking jagoff. Like, are you kidding me? And your other fucking compadres in your little fucking lithium town with you are just as bad or worse than you are. Like, and everybody in this fucking episode, did you look at that other fucking guy that, I forget his name. What's the name of the guy? Not Sulu, but the other helmsman there. That fucking creepazoid.
who he keeps not putting the ship in orbit or whatever.
Yeah, with the curly hair.
Yeah.
That fucking creepazoid. Fucking the Tin Man.
Yeah.
And shit when he's like, look at you, fucking herpy face. Like, seriously. Like, this episode is full of nothing but, like, fucked up, goober behaving fucking men. And then these three women, like, oh my God, look how hideous they are, because their hair's not done and they're not wearing makeup, and they've got like some wrinkles and stuff. How dare they? How dare they be that hideously ugly? It's like, no, they look like, and they're still like, you know what I mean? They're still like, I just don't
They're
get
still
it.
doable. I mean, it's not like you're not gonna
That's not
have
what
sex with them,
that's not
right?
what
I mean,
well, it's not quite what I was getting at, but I mean,
Well, I don't know, because the other day I went to the store. I didn't have my hair done and I didn't have my makeup done, and I got asked if I was a senior citizen.
wow.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Did you ask him if he was a fucking minor on a planet for
Well, I'm gonna give it.
on Rigel?
It was an elderly person, so I'm assuming their eyesight was bad. That's what I'm going with to make myself feel better. But that kind of hurts deep down inside.
Yeah.
did you go for the senior discount though? Anyway,
I should have. God damn it, I should have. I was
You're
like,
not thinking,
sure I
Megan.
am. I was like taken aback. I'm like, what? I'm sorry. I didn't know I looked that bad. Okay.
You don't look that bad. People are just douchebags. The fact that they would even ask you that is just, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what fucking irritates me about this episode, is that I'm like, all right, cool, for all of Trek's progressiveness, which it did have, and all this other kind of shit, it just, at the end of the episode, I just am left like, still like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, even at the very fucking end, when they're on the planet and Scotty asks, or Spock asks, how many people he's beaming up, and he looks over at them and she can't even answer for herself. Fucking Goober Pile has to sit there and be like, she needs to stay with me for a little while longer. We need to talk. And then she's just kind of like, I guess. And it's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, just, like I said, I understood the point that they were trying to teach about, like, you know, true beauty. Beauty comes from within. It doesn't come from a pill. It doesn't come from superficial things. And you should feel beautiful
And confident.
and
it'll
confident
show.
regardless of that, and it will make you beautiful. And so that is a great lesson. Awesome. But I just still feel like the whole fact of, but all the men in this episode behaved like complete and utter fucking selfish, shallow, judgmental, not having any sense of self-fucking reflection to realize what fucking scumbags they were and how lucky that any woman, homely or otherwise, they should feel lucky to get with any of these women. I don't care how much you're out there dying for lithium crystals. Like, fuck you, dude. The other interesting thing about this, and what's funny is I feel like this in a lot of ways people focused on even more, was the drug aspect. Because this was right around that time, it was in late 60s, when people were taking a lot more drugs, openly at least, taking a lot more drugs, and this was when we were starting to get into, like, lysergic acid and stuff like that, things to alter your mind, really alter your perception, things like that. Again, it's another one of those things where I feel like a lot of this got on because it was so futuristic.
Yeah, they're hiding it inside, the future scenario. Or
Sci-fi bullshit kind of thing. But like the fact that, you have to realize that this was a time when, like, you couldn't talk about, like, they didn't even want you talking about some things like that. Like, you couldn't, unless you were like a cop show like Dragnet or one of those kind of things, like, you didn't talk about people doing drugs and getting high and things like that, like you couldn't do it. Like in comic books, I know you guys aren't into comic books and stuff, but like back then, like the comic code and stuff wouldn't allow comic books to even address that. Even when like Stan Lee finally was compelled, and this was later, this was in like 69 or something like that, to write an anti-drug story. The story was anti-drug, like super anti-drug. And the comic code was like, nope, you can't talk about that. You can't talk about it. And he was like, but it's anti-drug. I'm trying to teach kids. And they're like, no, you can't even talk about it. So the fact that they got something like this through, pretty amazing, You got an episode through that dealt with drugs and who was. And it's just like, all right, we can deal. You know what? Here's the thing. You're going to show these women taking these drugs that falsely makes them beautiful and confident, and they're going to basically be sold off as, slave wives, blah, 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 mail order brides and everything. Like
subspace order brides.
Yeah, subspace order brides. You know what, Gene? I think we can let that one slide, but just all things even and stuff. Let's just make sure that we just make sure that the women are put in their place in the episode, and make sure that the men still, really show their dominance and stick it to them and everything, and that these women know they're wrong and all this. It's like, fuck you. For the people that can't see this and are just listening, I am flipping off. You fucking male dominant jagoffs, go fuck yourselves. Oh, so yeah, I don't really have a whole lot. You guys I don't have much to say redeeming about this episode. I don't enjoy it. I didn't think it was particularly funny. I don't know. I understand that they couldn't, but even just like the way those fucking jagoffs down there were just being so obdurate, so obstinate about, like, well, we ain't giving you our lithium crystals. Like, yeah, we realize you've got like several hundred women, men, and women, maybe even children, animals on your ship, and you're all in danger of like losing orbit. And you're gonna crash and die, but we ain't giving you shit.
Not unless we get these women, but we want to see them first.
Oh, I love that.
Don't just give me the women.
Oh, but
I love,
yeah, when Goober 2 has to bring up Goober number 2, he's like, but of course we want to see the women first, because I mean, I'm not gonna fuck just any old woman out there,
I have standards.
I got me some standards here. Fucking.
Probably get a fucking straw woman down in this cabin. Fucking right.
Straw woman with like a fucking old package of fucking bologna.
Yeah, just
stuck in the right spot.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, look, I know that's gross and disgusting, but think about what he looks like. I'm gonna put a picture of that fucking goober there. Tell me I'm off the mark.
No, I can see it.
Yeah,
he's a baloney.
That's
fucker,
what makes it extra.
That guy.
I reckon that guy fucks baloney. You just look at his face. He's got that look to him.
You guys are right. You nailed it.
Yeah.
As did he.
Yeah.
Listen,
literally.
I know that we're probably, there's so many people out there in Trek fandom and
They
everything
probably hate us
that
right now.
hate us right now and are like, you people are fucking foul and assholes and everything. And I mean, everybody has their different opinions on stuff, and I get that we're a little racy and coarse for you, but I'm just gonna say right now, I stand by it. Those fucking lithium miner guys, I don't care how much they were heroes. They're a bunch of fucking straw woman baloney fuckers.
Correct. Oh man.
Oh God.
Do you guys got anything else you got to say about this episode? Is there some? You usually have some cool notes about it,
Yeah,
right?
I just wanted to point out that
Yeah.
a scene with Uhura and Mud was cut out because it was lengthy and wordy. And it was all about him like trying to get her to take this goddamn drug. I was like, she's drop dead fucking gorgeous, you idiots. She
Right.
doesn't need to take that drug. So, and then he was all mad because it was like he felt it was like good dialogue for Mud and everything. It really brought out who he was, and so I'm really glad they decided to cut that scene.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
Uhura wouldn't have put up that.
No,
she probably
wouldn't.
ducked him. That's probably why they had to cut it.
Well, if
She missed and hit Spock, and
Yeah, there you
that's
go.
I would imagine she would sit there and be like, I know, I don't need that, and fuck you for asking.
uh-huh.
I mean, yeah, what's he gonna say?
Yeah,
like
how does he
they
even
could,
broach
what?
that?
They could have
It's
even.
like, you know what? You're looking a little tired, a little homely today. I did find one thing amusing. It was Varian with Spock and Dr. McCoy and Kirk sitting there, and they were all talking, and
Yeah,
McCoy says something about
his
I was
heart.
like, oh, right in the heart. He's like, or in your case, it's over here.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny. He's like, I have never been so happy.
Yeah, right. When Spock says,
To
"I've
be-
never been more happy to be different from you,
Yeah.
anatomically
Human.
or otherwise," and everything. And McCoy's like, "Damn,
Yeah. I was like, that was pretty slick.
he got me pretty good." And
Yeah.
Kirk's just like, "McCoy, you dumb bastard."
You open yourself up to that one.
Yeah, Spock's gonna show you up every time. I don't feel any sense of. I know they try to bring in suspense with the whole like time's running out, blah blah blah. Okay, well, first of all, we know that's not going to happen. Now, I guess you could say for every week you go, well, we kind of figure the Enterprise isn't going to blow up this week, but usually there's at least more of a sense of like, fuck, how are they going to get out of this kind of thing? With some of these other ones, Balance of Terror, fuck. There's where it's tense and you're like, fuck, I really don't know how. This one didn't have that.
No.
They can just
Even though
beam
they were
down
like gonna.
anywhere they want. Just take the crystals if they wanted to.
Well, and I'm glad you bring that up. Because at the end, when when Kirk is confronting Goober
Yeah.
and Eve and everything, and he's saying to him like, okay, are you going to give me my lithium crystals or do I need to send a search party down? And I'm like, bitch, why didn't you send a fucking search party down in the first place? Or at the very least, once it got down to like dire straits and the guy was just like, nope. And especially when they couldn't find, well, I know they had that storm going on and stuff, but still it was just like, at what point is there like Starfleet like rules or laws or whatever that state like if you're in that kind of a situation and you're presented with these lithium miners, blah, 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 and they're just completely not cooperating like that, at what point do you have authority to go down there and be like, well, guess what? We're a fucking Starfleet Federation ship here. I'm a captain, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get you guys are this, but guess what? We have the authority to fucking come in here and take what we need so that my entire ship of 304 people doesn't fucking die because you fucking lame dicks want to get laid.
Well, it could have all been avoided because I don't understand how Mud even got communication down to the planet without Uhura knowing.
And he's using a hand communicator.
How's it even going to reach?
Yeah.
He didn't have the power to reach that far.
Again, primitive
through
technology.
a storm. So it could have all been avoided if she was at her station.
Right.
I was going to say, I was like, that must have been when Mud was, but that didn't work either. But she's probably debating taking this pill, this drug, but.
And what kind of batteries does the Enterprise have that can sustain the entire ship for that length of time?
bitchin' ass batteries.
I mean, dude.
you better. I mean, you're making a ship that's got to go out into the fucking cosmos. It better have some fucking badass batteries.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they
like
were
that.
using warp speed by the time that the lithium ran out, because that obviously powers a warp drive. But still, if you're going on an impulse, I think that takes a lot of energy to move a ship that big, even in
Keep it
space.
in orbit.
Right. So
right.
batteries seems kind of dumb to me. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But that's what I'm saying. Just there's so many aspects of this, because we're Trekkies, Trekkers, Trek dorks, and this is what we do: is we nitpick all these kind of things. And there's just too many things about this episode. I've never understood why this one has been so popular with fans. Like they say, "Oh, we love Mud," and I don't have anything against the actor. I think he acted it well, but I just didn't think he was.
Yeah, my favorite scene with him was the interrogation when the computer and stuff. He's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, well, okay, God dang it, well, you got me there." It's like, my real name is.
Yeah.
That was the best part I thought of him.
Okay, I suppose. Maybe I'm judging unfairly. I guess it's not so much. I think it's more my disappointment in the overall story and everything that makes me not as enthused with him. I guess if I take him out of it. It's been a while. He appears again, obviously. Was it season 2 or 3? I forget.
I think it's 2.
Yeah, he appears again in I, Mud. And then, of course, he appears again on the animated series.
Right.
But I haven't seen I, Mud in a while. I'm curious to see how I feel about that one.
Yeah.
I know it's a
Well,
completely different premise than this.
Yes.
It's like, but do you know if this episode has happened in that episode? It's like a
Yes.
continuation.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
no,
you're like,
like,
"Oh, Mud.
this
Okay.
fucking guy again.
This again. Shit."
Chumley, you idiot. Gee, Timothy. Sorry. But anyway, so far, out of all the episodes, this is the one I would probably be the least likely to revisit because it irritates me so much. Charlie X is still close, but in this case, yeah, Charlie X has like a little bit more kind of funny eye-rolling moments that I would rewatch it for. This one, there's nothing about it that makes me go, "Oh yeah, I want to watch Mud's Women."
Not even the woman in the green dress.
Well, the women are beautiful. The women are, yeah, okay. I take it Vito like the women. Well, one of them, which one was it?
She was Playmate of the Month. I think it's the blonde.
I think the short blonde hair one, right?
I think she was Playmate of the Month
Oh, okay. Huh, interesting.
just before filming this, I believe, or this around the same time
Yeah.
in '66.
Oh, I wonder. I'd be interested to know if they knew she did that
Exactly.
before they filmed and cast it or whatever. Because no one.
Maybe she had done the photo shoot, but the magazine hadn't come out
So
yet.
I wonder they find out afterwards and they're
Well-
like, scandal.
Somebody made a good point that like Eve, and is it Magda?
Yes. Yeah.
She's the dark-haired one. I can't
Yes.
keep them
Yeah,
straight.
yeah. Mhm.
When they became homely, that you could tell they aged and they were more homely and disheveled and stuff like that. But she really didn't do it. She was basically the same. They just kind of messed up her hair a little bit.
Well, that's why they had her kind of like looking like shadowed.
Yeah, she was like, yeah, like she had a hunch or something.
and we're like,
But they
damn it,
didn't,
we
like,
can't
alter
ugly
her
this broad up.
face. She's like, she's Playmate of the Month. You can't make her ugly.
Yeah. Well, they were. Yeah, they
So
were.
people are watching.
They're like the other ones, yeah, we can get them there, but we just can't ugly this broad up enough. Put her in some shadows. Mess her hair up real good. Tell her to slouch.
Well, apparently the director told the lighting guy to like go crazy with the dramatic lighting.
Oh my God! And did he?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And I guess he quoted that these women looked even more beautiful than they were because of the lighting that this guy used to overemphasize them, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. All I know is Star Trek show so far, you're being a real sausage party here, man. Like, wowie. I just, like I said, I'm just a little disappointed. Hey, man, like we've talked before, I can appreciate good-looking women as much as the next guy, and they're in Star Trek or even original series, Next Gen, all that had a bunch of great-looking females on there. But I still just, I can't stand, I don't know. It's just disarming to me to see them just treated so shittily. It's like, oh, this is depressing.
But this was actually one of the few episodes where Kirk like turned down the chick.
Yeah.
He's like literally pushed her off of him. Like, I gotta go. We're gonna blow up. Get out of my way. I don't have time for this right now.
Fucking, he's like, I don't have time to be putting my thing into some strange, possibly homely junkie whore.
She might have STDs, man. That's why Mudd was so resistant to put them by the medical scanner.
Oh, is that okay?
He
They
didn't
might
want
have-
anybody- yeah, it was tainted goods. He didn't want those Myers to find out. Then he would have lost the sale.
They could have had some studs. Had a couple 2-tree studs. Well, then they should have hooked him up with fucking old herpy face sitting there at the fucking command console with next to Sulu.
Is that why when she was in there, all the machines started going crazy? It's like, it shouldn't be doing that.
I'm glad. I totally forgot about that. See, when I first watched this, I was like, wait, are they like robots or something? Are they aliens? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, I still don't know why they set it off.
And they never explained it, right?
Yeah.
That
So it
didn't make
has to
any
be the
sense.
studs.
Maybe.
I thought it was that what was setting it off was the drug in their system.
Okay.
Because it's essentially, it's a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a drug's just gonna go make everything go haywire.
I don't know. That could be it's a strong ass drug, man.
Maybe they had an
Apparently.
idea that they didn't quite flush out.
Yeah,
or
because
something.
I always thought
and-
that was like a red result or something. I didn't think it like you needed something else hooked to you or they needed to scan you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where it goes boop 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 boop.
Yeah, it looks, I love those little graphics that they have.
On that note, oh, well, real quick, I mentioned it was all me. Where did you guys rank this episode?
Towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Towards the bottom.
It's hard to list them now. in
Yeah,
order,
it doesn't.
but-
That's why I said now I'm just kind of looking at it like
This would be in my bottom three.
bottom, middle, top kind of thing, right? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's a bottom for all of us.
Yeah.
This is a fucking real carp, just a total bottom feeder, just eating garbage off the bottom.
Yep, that's what this one is.
All right. Well, we're all in agreement on that then. All right, cool. Well, we'll be back soon with yet another one. I think hopefully it'll be more on the
Positive.
on the upswing, So oh, sorry. It's late. So peace out, everybody. You got
Oh, crap. I got to do both now. I can't. There we go.
All right.
that you can't just do
I can't
one.
just do one anymore. I have to do both.
Live long and prosper.
Leaders. No, I'm not doing it.
See ya.
Bye.
This communication has ended.